Who should be Manchester City's right back next season? Who should be the mainstay? Who should have most time at right back next season? And who should not? And here's my reasons why. So, again, let me just start by saying my opinions. My opinions are my own. Your opinions will differ. If everyone had the same opinion, the world would be a very boring place. All right, first up, John Stones. A potential right back that we could utilise in that position. Pros, calm on the ball, can attack when needed, good passing ability, good for a shot on goal. Now, calm on the ball, I don't think we have a more calm defender than John Stones as far as defensive abilities go, and taking that time to get the right pass across. There has been a couple of times where he's fluffed it, but more often than not, you say that John Stones is solid and a good, reputable defender. And now, keyword being defender, not just a centre back, not a right back, a defender, because he can play right back and he can play defender. When he plays right back, he does go into the central midfield spot, and he's very good there, sometimes moving up even further. Now, he is good for the shot on goal. We've all seen him strike a ball, and we know he can strike a ball. Sometimes that is what you need. With all the signings that we've just made, I don't think it's the ideal time to be having our centre-back or right-back taking a shot at goal. But he has that ability. He has that in his locker if needs be. Now, the cons, injury prone. So if he is the mainstay at right back, how often are we going to be able to see him play right back or centre back? Because he is injury prone. So just as the team gets going, like, this is the problem with John Stones. So you get used to seeing that starting 11, and you think, yeah, you can pretty much call 9 out of 10 players in the starting 11. So you think, could John Stones be in that starting 11? You'd like to think so, but more often than not, what happens is he plays a few games at right back or centre back, and then he's dropped, and we're like, oh, what's he dropped in for? Must be tactical. Half an hour later, you don't see him in the starting 11. News comes out, he's injured again. A few days goes on, oh, he's having surgery. So that's my pros and cons of John Stones. He's also not very pacey. Moving on, Manuel Akanji. He protects the ball well, so he buys himself time to get that pass off. He's got good game sense. So even though he's not the paciest of players, he does know, a bit like Rodri. Rodri's not the paciest of players, but his game sense is that good that he just knows where to be and how to react when the opposition are on the transition. He's got good passing ability. Like I said, he buys himself time, so he has got that good passing ability, so he can get them good passes off. And he's just an overall a decent player. Now, he came back last season towards the end of the season, and he wasn't the best. That's probably because of match fitness, but that's how it is. Sometimes that's how it is. You do need these players to get up to match fitness. Obviously, there was that clause in the Khusanov contract, apparently, so we don't know. Cons, not very adventurous. What do I mean by that? I mean, if there's a pass on and you're screaming, release the pass, get the pass off, sometimes he doesn't do it. He passes back, or he passes sideways, and it just gets a bit frustrating to watch. He's prone to mistakes. Like I said, the end of last season. Before that, he wasn't too bad. He does have the odd bozo in him, but yeah, he is prone to mistakes. Not regularly, but every now and again. But that's what you want. That's what you don't want. You don't want that in your back line. Not very pacey. He hasn't really got the pace, but like I said, he's got good game sense to make up for that. Moving on. Matheus Nunes, very attacking, stretches the defence and has pace. He clocked in the second fastest Premier League player last season, so he does have pace. He's very attacking. So my problem with this is, if we have Aït-Nouri down the left, do we really want Matheus Nunes down the right? For me, there will come a time where you do want that. You will want both of the left back and the right back. Essentially, they will be wingers. They will be wing backs. There will come a time, low block time, where you will need that. Think that we have got Shirky, we have got Foden, we have got Savio, We've got enough wingers to be able to stand there and do that position just as well as a Nunes on the pitch could do without letting them goals leak. Mediocre passing. These are the cons. Mediocre passing. It's a common. It's a common trait amongst a few of our players last season. Matheus Nunes is one of them. So whereas I say Khusanov is adventurous and John Stones is adventurous, the problem comes from Nunes is adventurous without being able to see the dangers, and that is the problem. So he may try, but he doesn't really understand the consequences of the pass that he tries to make. Prone to mistakes, that's pretty much the same what I was just explaining then. He is prone to mistakes because he doesn't understand the dangers, the consequences of what he's doing. Last season, giving penalties, basically just lapse of concentration is probably the best way to explain him. But overall, like I've said, and I know people don't like it, with Rodri in the team, he's going to be a lot more sturdy, knowing that that backup is behind him, that brick wall is behind him. Moving on to our fourth choice. Abdelkadir Khusanov. Now, the pros: has good pace, adventurous, untapped potential, and slide tackle. Has very, very good pace. Last season, I didn't know how quick he was. I was unaware of his game. He's adventurous. And what I was saying about Nunes is, he was a bit poor in his passing. Khusanov is a bit poor in the passing. He's not as good as the John Stones and Akanji. Well, when I say poor, I don't mean poor. I mean not as good as the first two that we mentioned. He's adventurous in he'll try to break the lines and he will try to put a through ball through. Now, that is very, very good from your right back if they are expected to be a right back at some point. But I think if Khusanov is our right back, he will be moving central, not being asked to go down the wing, and which means we'll have like Khusanov, Diaz, and Vardiol at the back protecting. So there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to this whole argument. Adventurous is probably the best way to describe him. Untapped potential. Listen, he's a young guy, and he's already very, very good. He will be on the radar of all the big Spanish teams when he grows a couple of years older, and that you'll be sure there'll be 100 millions floating around for this guy. I mean, we paid 40 million, so if he's 40 million at that age, what's he going to be in a few years' time? He has got a ceiling. Or he has no ceiling, I should say. Slide tackle. It's been a while since we've seen a decent, gritty slide tackler, and Khusanov's got that in him. Seeing he did it a couple of times to Vinny Jr., and he's very, very good at it. Sometimes he gets there a little bit shy of when he should do, and he still tries a slide tackle. But he's trying, man. He's trying. Cons: not the best at passing. So although he sees the pass, the execution just isn't quite there, and that will come with time. He's played 10 games for us. That will come with time. He'll get better at that, and he'll learn when to pass and when not to pass, and he'll get better at that. And his game sense is not peak. And when I say not peak, I mean he hasn't peaked yet. Like I said, with the untapped potential, he will peak, and he will have that game sense. And imagine that with the pace, the power, and the game sense, he will be phenomenal. And that is why Khusanov is my pick for right back. If I was going to choose a player to play that position at right back, and someone said, who would you rather play most games at right back? Khusanov would be the guy. He gives you everything. He gives you the stone wall defending. He gives you the slide tackles. He gives you that adventurous nature. He gives you the attempts at passing, and he has the pace to get back and resolve any mistakes that he makes. I know the same could be said about Nunes, but at the same time, Khusanov is an out-and-out defender. Nunes is not. Nunes is a midfielder or a winger. So that's my pick. Let me know. Get in the comments. Who would be your first choice right back? Would it be Khusanov? Like the video, subscribe, hit that bell. See you next time. Bye-bye.